This is about an ex-girlfriend. I'm glad she's not here. No, I'm joking. White meat of my flesh, orange meat of the melon. So American of us to discriminate between meats. Fire hoses and dogs for that meat. Country club and tax relief for that meat. Slow cooked in the sauces and seasonings of this life. I was never sure if you threw up or you just never ate. Regardless, your parents never liked me. I suggested race, and you pushed the plate, asked for spinach, knowing spinach would never come. During our breakup, you went on a tour of America. A rainstorm of long-stem roses bombarded the stage. Crowds implored encores. But I'm sure your lips are parched and bleeding just as before. Wake like a Romanian girl and shiver the dew and the leaves from your hair. A roast awaits you in the terrace that overlooks the street. As for me, I will never go to Europe again. The African and Indonesian girls have leaves in their hair too, but they also enjoy meat. Do not let the meat touch the blood. Shake the Jew from your hair and eat meat. Shake the flesh from your Christian. Eat meat. 30 days of fasting was a lifetime for you. You wear the month like a silk pair of slacks. They keep sliding down the camber of your curveless body. Ramadan, your body. Ramadan, your new boyfriends and their winter hats. Your steamboat town and its whiskey jug river. Your cockapoo and his happy wagging tail. Your lovely sisters, Ramadan. Ramadan, the acres you own and your parents' hillbilly song. Ramadan, your bones revealed as if your skin was lingerie for something else. A soul, perhaps. Ramadan, your soul. At sunset, you go for the wine, or you could never sleep. Ramadan on you. I don't ask for much, I ask for meat. But all I get in return is Ramadan, Ramadan.
My piece is called Palimpsest Ulyss Word Doc. A Word document saved to my removable inch-long 2-gig Dragon Blue pen drive can never be a palimpsest. You cannot superimpose your creativity and fill in the in-betweenness of mine with recipes, my apple fritters with your coming soon political liberation, to make our language touch, mine and yours, and be placed legibly together as a tea coaster on a coffee table. My work is safe, or is only destroyable in its digital form. It will remain mine, or be Control-A deleted, or transformed completely, leaving no trace of myself. No lemon juice, no chemical sulfate in the hands of Middle Eastern archaeologists or green-eyed aliens could recover me. In fact, how will any chaser collecting me know you wrote, or I wrote, or they wrote these words, or how many times I misspelled, or blanked a paragraph? This one twice, if you care. My finger hits, and this finger hits its key and produces TH, like everyone else can produce TH. My TH is not feminine, or is. My TH is not old-fashioned, or is. My TH is not delicate, or robust, or is, or unlike any other TH that matters. Doesn't matter. I want to say, when green becomes the thing instead of words, I want to say no. When green, the dimpled hard green, the deep green of petals on a rose, holds light, liquid and light, in leaf fractal veins we see wings shaped like neophyte lemons, folded but swept green out over inflated crests to serrated edges, pointed in green. Not words, but image. An image can be a thing we mark palimpsestually, together, with experience inside. But the language is still mine in my pen drive. Or yours if you change it, or theirs if they exchange it, if I exchange it for $2 signs and copies. Critics may claim it, or state complicate that it's ours, but can it ever be ours in my Dragon Blue pen drive? Like the Dead Sea Scrolls could be ours if you wrote them, and I used them later to scratch a grocery list.
This one's called On Global Warming. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like to pour gasoline all over me one of these days. Just let let the watered down, greasy feeling get all over my skin. I wonder if I could feel the difference between the 87 or the 89 or the 91, or if I went to a Texas gas station, the 93. Would the number change the way my gasoline-soaked fingers rub into each other? I don't think I'd care. I just don't want that dirty feeling. I'll go through the day, perhaps being set on fire. Don't know how, though, because I don't think I'll light the flame myself. Perhaps I'll step on a cigarette butt on the ground near an office building downtown, where I'll burst into flames suddenly, rushing to the nearest building, setting that on fire, then another and another, until all of San Diego is left burning, people igniting into flames everywhere, moving from one building to the next, flames spreading until all of America is left homeless. Maybe some of the people will flee to the south, perhaps while the people from the south are fleeing to the north. The fire might even make its way from coast to coast, where people might drown themselves after losing all hope for life. Perhaps I'll be one of those few people who spontaneously combust. I will explode like a star, but not great enough a star to become a black hole, sucking the life out of the very light that passes by. I will be one of those pathetic stars that just die down, my remains turn to dirt and completely forgotten. Perhaps I'll die making love, making fuck to John. We'll have enough friction going on between rubbing up on the carpet and being around that old television set that fuzzes up when it turns on, that'll cause a static shock, that'll act as a catalyst to me setting into flames with John inside me. If I could get John off while on fire, perhaps he'd still hold on to me like a little baby, falling asleep in my burning arms, until we're both one giant flame, and he's no longer so different from me that I fear him leaving in a year or so, when we don't have anything to say to each other besides the conversations about what happened in the day, or how it's all right to be silent all the time when you're with the one you love, or perhaps the one you tell yourself you love every day, because you wonder how fucked up it will be to leech the life right out of them and not care. If he doesn't get up, perhaps John will run out of the front door screaming, fuck, 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 so that the awful woman next door tries to shut him up, pointing to her daughter or granddaughter or abducted child and warning children are present. And to put on some clothes, John will call me and tell me to bring him some pants, because A, children is present. There's A, children playing outside in the middle of the night. From there, I'll come down and bring him his pants, which have now been burning from being exposed to my flaming arms. I'll apologize to the little girl. I'm deeply sorry for all one of you all. The asshole I see every day, metaphorical asshole, even though you wouldn't really be able to tell from the smell permeating from his oily stink crotch and recycled week-old jeans shorts, will call me a fag. But I won't be bothered, because this time I'll actually be a fag. I'll hold him in my arms, then he'll be a fag too. We'd be two fags flaming in the streets. Or perhaps I'll just wash myself off, because the girl who held a grudge against me for a year for no reason whatsoever will say something along the lines of, your death is way too cliché and unoriginal.
Because we have 14 others after me. This one is called Desert Discord. I mistake the wind outside for rain, the date palms hiss for surf, their shadows for women, or one woman around a kidney-shaped pool in Palm Springs, California. I know how water disappears, how wind forms in the valleys, how false gods of the ancients my father warned me about evaporated into desert sediments. Another lesson as he drove the same lonely highway I do. I lost sight of his road ahead, and years later looked for it in a half-empty red on the night table under a half-moon that long ago pulled tides halfway up the shoreline. There's no bombshell in a two-piece in the long, angry shadow of Mount San Jacinto. No surf nor rain to speak of. This is the Mojave, and the desert plays tricks, says something dry, lightly salted with stars.